we'll have a wide range of speakers at Harmony Park, including individual community members, Scarlet Alliance, the Australian Sex Party, Sydney Leather Pride and the Australian Greens. Now, to get us started, I'm going to lead you in a chant. Whatever I wear, wherever I go, yes means yes and no means no. Whatever I wear, wherever I go.
Hey sweet, you can do also I love consensual sex sign up again.
The concept of slut has a huge stigma in our society. The problem with maintaining that taboo is that we maintain the power to slut shame people. There is nothing wrong with enjoying sex. There is nothing wrong with having consensual sex with as many people as, or as few people as you like, as long as it's always consensual.
No means no. Wherever we live, wherever we go. No means no. Wherever we live, wherever we go. And yes means yes. No means no. However we dress, wherever we go. Yes means yes.
No means no.
However we dress, wherever we go.
Your poster. What does that mean?
It affects young men as they're growing up as well. It's an issue that affects all of us.
Sexism.
When I was sorry?
So you mean sexism affects all of us?
Yeah. I grew up wishing that I was a different type of male than I really am. It took me until I was in my 30s to realise I'm still okay just as I am. I don't have to be this idealised masculine persona.
Well, I'm a slut inside.
Yeah.
Slut is a state of mind.
Anybody is a slut, but I use the word because if I identify myself as a slut, it removes some of the power from that word. If so-called normal people are also sluts, then you're less afraid to be branded as a slut.
How much are the t-shirts?
25? Yay!
Oh, this is my late friend. Oh, you're filming it. I'm just taking a photo. Okay. Let's try it. Oh, good for Frida. Frida approves because she got called a lot of names in her day.
Yeah, nice.
Frida Kahlo.
Oh.
I can even sing a song for you. Ay, que venire sola, y hablaros de la mañana, y hablaros de la mañana. Ay, que bonita es volar, ay, mamá.
Bravo. Wonderful. Thank you.
I just wanted to challenge, you know, the stereotypical ideas of what's a slut. In the eyes of the male gaze, if you've got sexual agency, you're a slut, no matter what you wear. So, yeah, that's all I'm trying to say here.
Okay, thank you.
In any city in this country, you can open the paper and see the slut shaming of sex workers who are trying to achieve justice when assaulted or raped. For our community, victim blaming is institutionalised in the criminal justice system. We experience slut shaming individually and on a collective level as well. As a community, when one sex worker is denied justice, it hurts us all. Sexual assault is just as brutal, as shocking and criminal in a brothel as it is in the workplace of a nurse, a police officer, a teacher or a judge. And yet we are told that we are to expect it as some kind of occupational hazard. This is slut shaming. Some people say that all sex work is rape, and that as sex workers we don't know the difference. This is slut shaming. Governments around the country say that sex work is undesirable and deserves to be punished. This is slut shaming. When we walk today for survivors of assault, we walk today for the right of any person to be safe in their workplace, including sex workers. The oldest profession, we are the archetypal slut. When laws and moral judgment and the courts deny us justice because they see us as sluts, it excuses slut shaming in all its forms. And today we say no more excuses.
Thank you, Audrey Autonomy. And isn't it so true? Being sexually assaulted at work is not a bad day at work. It is a violation, and it's just as true for sex workers as it is for a child or a grandmother or a man going for a job. Our next speaker is Eva Cox. She's a writer, feminist, sociologist, social commentator, stirrer and activist. A long-time member of the Women's Electoral Lobby, she's worked as an academic, political advisor and public servant. Early experiences as a refugee and migrant influenced Eva's commitment to rejection of injustices. She's been an active and irrepressible advocate for creating more civil societies and coined the term social capital, which she argued is more important than financial capital. Eva Cox.
Why do women get judged on what they wear? We don't judge men on what they wear in nearly the same thing. So actually charging women with some particular characteristic because they wear this or that or the other means that we are still objects. We are not seen as people which have the initiative to make up our own minds and to have a mind. What I want to particularly point out, and we haven't mentioned it at all today, is we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't. And I want to raise the issue in particular of people like Fred Nile and co who want to ban in particular that his actions against the burqa, because we really need to start thinking about the fact that why do women get blamed when they wear too many clothes in the same way that women get blamed when they wear too little. So I just think it's very important to put this back in context, to stop blaming victims, but for us to stop being victims. I think we've got to start taking control of the debate. I think we've got to start talking about why we are always defending ourselves, even defending ourselves against being called sluts. Let's get to the point where we really have the revolution. I keep saying to people, in the 1970s we had a motto which said, any woman who wanted to be an equal to men actually had a low level of ambition. I think we need to get back to the idea that the women's movement in the 1970s was about changing society, not about increasing the status of women to match that of men. I think we actually need to get back to changing society, and I'm interested if anybody here wants to do it. I think we need to start a new revolution.
Our final speaker is Edwina Blush. She's a jazz vocalist, songwriter, performance poet and provocateur.
Cheers. It's about words, isn't it? I mean, what do they mean? And we give them that meaning and we allow them to have power. Words are loaded. So when we take a word like slut and we use it as a pejorative, and for those of you who don't know what a pejorative is, it's a word that is intended to wound or humiliate, yeah? When we do that with wanker, I mean, go figure. Oh dear, you gave yourself pleasure. Have to watch out for you in traffic. And it's the same with slut. I mean, would anyone like to put their hands up now if they're not the result of a sexual act? Okay, I think I've made my point. But basically, if we were to just like try this as a little conceit, what if slut was a positive word? Yeah? What if we just thought of that as just something that somebody did, an action, you know, a verb rather than a pejorative? So I wrote the Sluts Creed. slut is someone you can turn to when your heart has been broken. A slut will not ask what went wrong, but will listen without judgment as you pour out a sad slop of vitriol and self-pity. A slut will lick your tears, kiss the swollen gorge of pain. The slut loves your body unconditionally, reminding you that there is more to sex than love. A slut allows you to revel in the present, for a slut makes no promises. Sluts do not deal in emotional credit. Sluts deal in emotionally safer sex. A slut is usually a good fuck because this may be the only time. A slut can be such a comfort because a slut is there for you, albeit a slut can also be there for anyone. Egalitarian pleasure models. Sluts are not interested in power. They give it away freely. A true slut is unlikely to share your sexually transmitted disease with you, because a real slut does not lie to themselves about what they are doing. Shameless and pragmatic sluts are responsible for their own happiness. The happy slut can afford to be generous because a slut has no commitments. A slut makes no claim of ownership and likewise cannot be owned. And so a slut can never truly belong, like the wind. And, like the wind, a slut will not heed your curses. And should you erect a barrier, proud in your ability to remain unruffled, a slut, like the wind, will take the next easiest route.
Did you enjoy the slut walk today too,
Yes,
my dear?
very much. Thank you.
Oh well, it's worth it. If there's another one coming, I'll be going again.